Hello, students. Today we're going to work on problem set 1, 2. That's page 12 and 14. I'm going to do the first number 1, number 2, I believe number 5, and number 6 on a separate video. So this is the first part of the 2 videos. So sign in using your Google PBSD ID. And if you have headphones, please use them so that the class will not be so noisy. I'd appreciate it. We're going to go to New, GeoGebra Math Calculators. And just give it a while to load. It has loaded. We don't need the calculator yet. We're going to immediately save this file. So let's go File, Save as Problem Set 1-2. And I think that'll be okay. Private because it's not an animation. Might not be too many people interested in sharing it. We could always make it public later. So save. And let's take a look at problem set 121. Okay. Problem set 121 asks us to plot the graph on your grapher using the domain given, sketch the result on your paper, give the range of the function, name the kind of function, and describe a pair of real-world variables that can be related by a graph of this shape. Okay, so for part 1A, you can see I just put C GeoGebra file problem set 1-2. Okay, so let's go. So where's our this is our function here. F of x equals 2x plus 3. So go to the graphing calculator. We're going to input just like it says f, and we're going to call this f1 for number 1 of x equals function, open parentheses, 2x plus 3, and we're going to, and comma, and we're going to have the leftmost endpoint of the domain, which is 0, comma, the rightmost endpoint of the domain, which is 10. And then we're going to hit enter, and we should see our function graphed in the domain given, and we can zoom out a bit so we can see the entire graph. And there's the entire graph. Okay. So we've plotted the function in our grapher, and now we're asked to give the range of the function. Okay, so we're not going to sketch the graph. Okay, so here we're going to find the range algebraically. Okay, that means we're going to, and here's the part where we find the range. F of x equals 2x plus 3. To find the range, evaluate endpoints of the domain. So evaluate f of 0. So you substitute 0 for x, and evaluate f of 10. So you substitute 10 for x. So you should get 3 and 23. Now the range is the rightmost endpoint minus the leftmost endpoint. And so that's 23 minus 3 equals 20. And so we'll write the range as 3 is less than or equal to f of x is less than or equal to 23. We could also say y here also. So if we wanted to, we could also say 3 is less than or equal, less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 23. Okay, so y and f of x are the outputs, the dependent variables. We use f of x as function notation. So if the function passes the vertical line test, which we'll talk about later, then it's considered a function, and we can use now this notation, f of x. Okay, this function is linear, right? So now what is the name of this function? Let's see, highlight pen. Okay, what is the name of this function? The name of this function is, this is a linear function. Okay, and then what could a story be? First, let's talk about the range here. Okay, so you solved it out algebraically, but you can also go back up here and make sure that you're gonna let the computer evaluate it now. So f1 open parentheses of 0, and it gives you 3, just like you got algebraically here, 3 in this part. Okay, and now go back and say, okay, well, what about the rightmost endpoint? F1 of 10. And sure enough, it's 23. Okay, just like on your sheet of paper, you said it was 23 here. Okay, now the range is 23, right? The range are your y values. And so you can see that there's 23 all the way down to 3. So your range is your up and down. What's your lowest point and what's your highest point? Your domain is 0 to 10. The domain is the x values. And your domain goes from your leftmost is 0, your rightmost is 10. Your lowest point is 3, your highest point is 23. Okay? So then you can turn this one off, and let's go to the next one. Okay? So here, so the story behind this is it costs $3 to download an app and $2 a month to keep the subscription. Once you have made 9 payments, the app is yours. Okay, and so you can contemplate on that story that I created and see if it makes sense. Okay. Okay. So then, of course, 2A say see GeoGebra file. So let's go ahead and graph. It says J of x here, but I'm going to put F2 of x, 0.2 x cubed. So F2 of x equals 0.2 times x cubed, right? X, and then shift 6 for the caret and cubed. And then okay, I'm sorry. We have to backspace because we have to say function, right? Because we're restricting the domain. We don't want the entire thing. So 0.2 x cubed, and how I got from x to the exponent is I had shift 6. Shift 6 will, and then you have to hit the right arrow key to escape, comma. Our domain goes from 0 to 4. Right? Yes. So then go ahead and, okay. So now let's expand this a little. We're going to move it and expand it so we can see it a little better. Or should I say zoom in? Okay, zoom in so we can see it a little better. And we'll drag it down. Okay, so here I can see the domain is 0 to 4. And my range is 0 to about 13. Okay, so here you can see the rest of the page. Okay, so you can, I don't have enough time for this video, but here's the problem. And then just make sure that you can evaluate these F2 of X at the endpoints. Okay, I'll see you next time.